Yeah, now stand and cheer for your Talking Basketball podcast.
Hello and welcome to another edition of Talking Basketball podcast.
That
I am Mark.
was a bloody good one.
That was a good one.
That was on fire.
You're on fire. Look at you. Look how excited you. Oh,
He's
God.
back and he's on fire with all this energy. Screw you and screw everyone else. That was the best one I might have done.
I think that's to do with the complimentary but limited edition mugs that we have, or cups. Are they cups or mugs? I guess they're a cup, aren't they?
Limited edition.
A mug has a handle.
Limited edition, mate.
Yeah.
For all our guests who come in.
Love it. Oh, I like that. I didn't guess that. This is mine.
Mine is my precious.
All right. Nice.
I'm
So,
back.
We're back, and you've been
Not
missing.
up to date.
Not up to date, but you've been missing the SLB.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's been good. There's been some good games. There's been
London have turned it around.
Yeah, there's been some great games.
They were struggling to start the season, but they seem to.
Do you know what? It's funny when you look at where they are now, and you say, "We are."
I'm not recording on the for the actual podcast, Mark.
We'll record it.
Psych.
You dick.
Yeah, you're there. Hey, hang on.
What?
If you insult, snowflake warning.
Yes.
3 minutes ago.
Snowflake?
Sorry.
Bad language. Yeah, so you think of where London are right now. We're on the 20th, 21st of November by the time you listen to this. But we've already had the trophy and going through to they didn't make the semi-finals or anything. They're out. They're out the trophy completely. They just couldn't get it together for the beginning of the season.
Who's in the semi-finals? What's the matchup?
Off the top of my head, it was, blimey, I'm going to have to go back to the show
Caledonia.
notes.
Sheffield, Bristol, and Newcastle. Have I got that right? I'm thinking about.
I think
Thinking
you have.
back like 3 weeks.
Yeah, I think you have. But the funny thing with the trophy is that you look at it and go, you wouldn't expect it to be like the semi-finals. Bristol, Cheshire, Newcastle, Leicester. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. What was that again?
Bristol, Cheshire.
Bristol are taking on Cheshire.
Yeah, and that's December the 6th. And Newcastle are taking on Leicester, and that's December the 6th. And then on December the 8th.
Oh, so Sheffield didn't make it?
No. And then Cheshire against Bristol on the December the 8th.
Oh,
And Leicester against Newcastle on December the 22nd. Like the date has been put in now. Like randomly.
All right.
But yeah, so...
Interesting fact for you.
Is it?
Yeah.
How interesting?
No, this is...
How interesting? Is this like, I'm going to fall off my seat interesting? Or is it like, I want to fall off my seat.
I don't think it's going to make... Well, this is big.
I want
This is
to
big.
fall off my seat.
Well, we're talking about the trophy finals now. So the actual final will be
Yes.
January 26th.
January 26th.
Gollum. Is that...
Yes.
I was going to do it back then. But anyway. January 26th, 2025.
Yeah.
In Birmingham. Back in Birmingham.
Yeah. The Utilita Arena, is it?
Once again for the trophy finals.
No, it's the first time. It's the first time it's ever
That's
been.
what I'm saying. Will be history in the making.
Yeah.
It is the first bit of Super League basketball silverware that will be given out.
Oh, it will as well, won't it?
Think about it. It's like the
So it's the
in-season
first-
tournament for the NBA last year.
So the first time they've ever used the Utilita and first time they've ever used
Like
silverware.
SLB. First.
Oh, you want to have that?
Thing that
You
gets
want to
given
have
out.
your name on there? Oh, you want to have that name on it?
That's what I said. It's quite.
So Cheshire and
important point.
Newcastle finished top of the North group, and in the Southern group, excuse me, obviously Leicester and Bristol. But yeah, so that's kicking off the 6th and the 8th of December. Not far away. But right now, in the week we're talking about, there is no SLB Super League basketball this weekend. They're actually taking like an international break because we've got the international game tonight. Tomorrow night.
Or when people listen to this
It will be
yesterday.
tonight. Yep.
When's this coming out?
I guess we can put it out on the Friday.
Okay,
So it'd have been last night.
Great Britain are taking on Greece.
Yeah.
And-
Greece are top of that table.
Huge game.
Yeah, I mean,
Huge game.
Britain are drawn at the moment with who is it? It's not Croatia, is it? but England are drawing like 2 games apiece. I think it is a 1-1. Greece are top of the table, like mile off. So at the moment, the UK, I think, GB are still in with a shot, but it is quite an important game. They really need to try and win this one.
It's one of the hardest.
And to win it is going to be tough.
Yeah, it's
You've got
be
home
hard.
advantage. They're in a copper box. Good luck to them all.
But look, I genuinely think like the European standard is so hard to break into. Like you look at the teams you're going into.
I think Thanasis is playing.
And well, you go back to.
And people joked about him, like, oh, look at him in the NBA, and you go, yeah, okay. Now look at him when he plays for like Greece. He's
and I think
good.
You could go back to 2008. Greece knocked out America.
Yeah.
Is that right? And they made him get bronze.
Yep.
Was that? Am I saying that right?
I'm sure it was Greece.
2008.
Spain.
Pretty sure it was Greece.
Yeah.
But just looking at some of the games, you know what? I got to do a snowflake warning.
Come on, snowflakes.
If you don't like language, or you are from Sky Sports, then turn off now.
Why from Sky Sports?
It pisses me off that this isn't on TV.
Oh yeah, no,
this
that's
is
disgusting.
freaking Great
Yeah,
Britain,
disgusting.
but playing basketball,
Yep.
the second highest team sport played for under 18s in this country,
Yep.
and our country is playing, and it's not even on Sky Sports.
Yep.
Sky Sports, you're a disgrace.
Yeah, 100%.
That was for them.
Yeah.
They're a disgrace.
It isn't. If you want to raise that level, you want as many people and many eyes as possible watching on it and going, oh, what? I could be part of that and play for my country. Like, yes. If you are a baller, go and do it. Like the amount. I know we spoke. So like when we've spoken to Keith and some of the guys from say
Hang
Finn.
on, what are you talking about now? We're talking about two different things, right?
No, we're talking about GB,
Yeah, this is the national team playing.
the national team. Yeah.
Yeah, you're talking about the Masters Day, yeah?
No.
The GB Masters.
Yeah, follow me. Let me finish. When we talk with like Keith and the people in the Masters stuff, for example, one of the things that they talk about is how they're trying to raise awareness for like, oh yeah, just because you're over 35, basketball doesn't stop. You can still play elite level basketball. It's just a different it's just not in this type of national team. It's an overs Masters national team, but it's the same thing. Oh, but there's how many players don't even know about it, and the amount of people trying to get into the youth teams for like GB and stuff, people kind of stopped bothering or trying, or if they were like youths who didn't have that experience. So when you're playing against people against like caliber like Greece and stuff, if they could televise that, suddenly you'd look at it and think, hang on a minute, like this is high quality basketball and we're competing. You go,
And,
yeah.
You've got an NBA MVP from a few years back who's playing in that game.
Yep.
And it's like, this isn't a scrimmage.
No.
This isn't a scrimmage. This is like for a place.
But in lots of countries, like
2025 FIBA Euro basketball.
Let me put it another way. If you wanted to try and get into the American team, for example, that's probably quite difficult, right? If you want to try and get into the Greece team, if you are Greek, maybe a little bit easier than trying to get into the USA team. If you're trying to get into the Australian team, for example, that's probably quite difficult as well, because they've got 4 or 5 players who play in the NBA straight off the bat, another 3 or 4 who play in EuroLeague. So you go to get into there, if you're a domestic Australian trying to get into the Australian team, it's probably quite difficult. GB team, you go suddenly, there's a better track for you. If you are a basketball player, you live in the GB, you're born and raised, you go, there's a better pathway for you than some of these others who have to fight over the likes of LeBrons and Stephs and Giannis and stuff.
A smaller population.
Much smaller population that you're fighting against. So if you are a player, go to tryouts, step up, put your name in the ring, like get yourself on the map. But in order to do that, they've got to raise awareness for, hey,
But
GB.
Sky Sports aren't going to put this on Sky Sport to
But
raise
there's GB
awareness.
a team. GB
But-
have a team that compete. And
But
that's
what I'm
the bit
saying is, this is a sport that is more watched than some of the sports that they put on Sky Sports.
oh yeah, like what, equestrian and stuff like that. Yeah.
Darts.
Mm.
It's like, come on, all that crap.
Yep.
If they're putting volleyball, netball, they should be playing every single Great Britain basketball game live.
Yeah. I mean,
is it like the Arena Channel or something like that? Anyway, I don't want to harp on about it.
That's the money. It's all about the money. Always is.
But look, they're 1-for-1 in Group F at the moment. They beat Netherlands and Newcastle.
Yeah, that was
really
amazing.
close game, 98-94. It
was the second game.
And it was a tough loss for, I think the team you were thinking earlier was Chechnya.
No, Czechoslovakia.
Czechoslovakia.
Yeah, it's Czech Republic, isn't it? Czech Republic.
90-82.
Yeah, that was the one I was thinking of.
And that was when the games were like really close to each other in February.
It was like 2 or 3 days apart. Yeah. That was really unfortunate because they're the ones that we're kind of fighting for to get that second position, basically.
But Great Britain, the last time they played Greece, they won 78-69.
Yeah.
And that was in a 2023 Basketball World Cup qualifier. I got a nice quote from Mark Stutel. We had him on the show before.
Yep.
Great basketball mind. So when I was in Orlando and I was talking to some of the higher ups,
people behind
some of the
scenes.
higher ups,
yes,
and we were talking about people like Nick Nurse and where he started and stuff like that. I was basically saying to them, you need to keep an eye on Mark Stutel. And they were like, oh, okay. And I was like, look, he has been coaching here. He's now coaching Newcastle. He's coaching GB team. And it's only when do you know what I mean? You talk to certain people and you're like, they have got a certain brain that lives, breathes basketball, and they're on another level.
Yep.
And we've talked to a lot of coaches, and we know it. As soon as you're talking to one of those guys, like the Nick Nurses, you know it, and he is like in that category.
Yeah, they think so.
But I was saying to, I was bringing his name up to the some of the higher ups in the Orlando Magic, and they were like, Mark Stutel, all right, I'm gonna check him out and stuff like that. So anyway, I got a quote from Mark. Greece is obviously a world-class side, regardless of which stars are playing. We know what to expect from Greece. Everyone in the world, in world basketball, knows what to expect from them. So we know how ready we have to be as a team, and from all the personnel. He says the mood in the camp's positive, and the the honour of representing Great Britain is high. But
is that an advantage?
Copper Box is sold out.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
And he's pleased that we're playing in the capital. It's important that we're playing at different venues across the UK. I 100% agree with that. They did Newcastle, now they're at the Copper Box. I'd be going around all of those. A few years' time, the Bristol one as well. And it's just generally one of the things I think we should really try and wear awareness and build it up is the Great Britain National
But that's what I mean. That's what I'm saying about bringing them all up. If you're not showing it on telly, people don't even know it exists. People don't know it's there to go support it, let alone even try to aspire to it. Because that's what, we just did a show about the sad passing of Mike Spade. But when we see legends and we see people that were from our formative years, and you look at those players and you think, those people not only were, when you watch them, you can think they're an inspiration in that respect, but as a child, you then aspire and you can see the ladder. You look at all the youth teams that you coach and you go, you're under 10s, you're under 12s, you're under 14s, 16s, 18s. There's the senior team. There's the ladder. There's the progression.
But they have that same thing for National League. So you go, you'll be representing.
But most people don't.
Annie Scanlon, she talked about it.
Exactly, but people don't know about it.
For the under 14s that she was coaching.
Like, why do people not know about it? That's the bit that is like, there's a detached part. You go, there's all these things that set up. It's great. It's like going into the woods or going into a desert and holding a party. You're like, you said it about websites before. What's the point in having a shop in the middle of a desert? No one's going to find it. No one's there. If you don't know anything about it. And so that's where like the BBCs and those sort of places, you think, well, what are we paying TV licenses for if you're not going to show our national team? Which doesn't make sense.
When you get to national teams, that's where it should be televised.
Yeah.
But I genuinely believe this. I think
bring back Channel 4 basketball.
I think people at Sky Sports, BBC, whatever you want to say, I don't think they personally are in touch with the youth of the United Kingdom.
No.
They're not going around the local courts. They're just going, right, football, rugby, it's sun's come out, tennis, cricket.
Yeah.
Well, let's have a beer. We'll put the darts on.
Stick with what we know. Look, the media, that world is the old media world. It's dying.
You suck!
You do suck.
But anyway,
it is what it is.
Let's not harp on about it. But yeah, Great Britain playing. Best of luck to them. They got a bloody tough fixture coming up.
Yep.
But they're at the Copper Box.
I think they deserve a round of applause.
Let's see what.
Give them a cheer.
Let's see what the boys can bring.
Bring back those lines.
That's what we need, Mark. We need a GB jersey behind you. We're
GB, hook us up.
We're getting a few jerseys now. Kind of the way the cameras are, we'll have to work it out to get the jerseys behind us.
Well, we're going to change the cameras anyway. We'll move it all around again.
But anyway, right, let's crack on.
Let's crack on with the league. There's 6 games this week. Right, here's my first moan. There's a couple. It was my first one.
Oh, yeah.
2 games on Friday and then 4 games on Sunday. It makes it quite difficult if you're someone who wants to be a fan of the sport to watch everything, because you can't watch it all on the same day. As simple as that. It's like, what are you doing Sunday?
You're having a moan at that?
Yeah, I am.
So what about like other sports like football, where it's like every game must be played Saturday 3 o'clock?
Different.
You're like, no, I want to watch them all.
I don't know. Well, I don't know about sports, but a lot of people, I'm sorry, other sports, but a lot of people tend to follow a team. Okay, hear me on this one.
I'm listening.
With the Super League as it is at the moment, there's 9 teams. Yeah, and anyone who's invested in watching actually wants to follow all the teams, not just their one specific team. They actually want to see how the league's doing, how everyone's doing. So a lot of people are tuning into more than one game, like genuinely. So if someone will say, like, oh, I watched London play Caledonia on Friday, and then on Sunday I picked up one of the games as well. Okay, that's cool, but you're missing all the others. Like, the spacing of the games is Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. They're doing 3 days a week. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, there's no games of basketball. Yeah. And then they now do it, we're going to take one more game. So you go.
So what would you think is better?
My gut feeling is because of the forming of the league, they maybe some of the Saturdays they can't do because of they didn't have a league in place and other fixtures.
So what are you saying? I'm confused. What you're saying? So it's Thursday, Friday, Sunday. Is that what you're saying?
No. So last season, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, you always had a game on a Thursday for some reason.
Yeah.
And then you had a game on Friday, one on Saturday, and then a couple on Sunday. You usually had them spaced out, 4 or 5 games a week, roughly. And you could watch one game a day or, that sort of thing. And there's only a few days that didn't have it. This weekend, last week, they had 2 games on the Friday and then 4 on the Sunday. And you think, who scheduled that? Like, it's terrible. Like, why are we not having any games scheduled on Saturdays? And then they've had other weeks where they've had it scheduled.
They should.
It's obviously
arrange
a scheduling
this
thing.
so it's better with your schedule.
Wow, it's not just my schedule. I think
they need to phone you beforehand and go, Mark.
Listen, they should.
On this Friday, are you out? Yeah, you're out. Okay, cool.
My gut is that they obviously had schedule clashes, which is fair enough. And they had to put the league together, and they probably lost the opportunity to maybe get that. It just seems odd having a really protracted, like, if you look at
I get what you're saying, but I think you're in a small percentage.
That
will be watching more than...
because I've looked at that, and there's a lot of people saying, I'm missing all the games because there's so many on. And there's lots of people who are putting those messages on.
But if you go to the
NBA, but if you go to the NBA, a lot of people tend to follow a team. Right, the same as with football, and then if they've said, "Oh, your favourite team's playing on a Friday and a Sunday," you'd be like, "Amazing! That's 2 games to get to watch." With the Super League in the UK at the moment, people want to watch more than one game. They actually want to watch other people.
Do you know what they need?
What?
Sunday night basketball, like match of the day, Sunday night.
Listen,
and they go through the games. They don't play the games, but they'll do extended highlights. That's what they need.
We'll do it. We're going to do a watch party at some point.
Sunday night?
Yeah.
Like Sunday night. What would you call it? Sunday night basketball, maybe?
Yeah, we'll do a watch party. That's what we'll do. I've got some stuff that we're going to come and let us know if in the DMs or messages or whatever. We're going to do a watch party on some games. I've got to figure out how to do it with the days and stuff, because as soon as you do it, it blacks out the screen. Even if we're recording here, I have to get a separate computer to watch it on, which is fine because I've got one, but it's a pain in the butt. It blacks the screen as soon as you do it. Obviously, they're trying to not let people screen share, which is totally understandable, but it would black out our cameras because it's on the same computer. So it's a funny one. But yeah, so anyway, let's get into the games. Friday night kicks off London Lions versus Caledonia Gladiators. Obviously, Caledonia last week, they've had a bit of a shift around. And
did we talk about this last week?
We did. You phoned in. Don't you remember?
I remember speaking to you. I have no idea what it said. So assistant coach. Oh, how would you say that? Riera.
Yep.
Louis Riera, would you say that? So he is the interim head coach for the foreseeable future. But, you know, I hope head coach Gareth Murray is doing okay in his new role. He's a bloody legend. I mean, he's been part of that for the last 20 years.
Yeah.
You know, head coach for 4 years. And he was part of that huge Caledonia run that got the trophy as well.
A couple of years ago, yeah.
I hope, you know, it sounds like they're looking after him. It will be really interesting, and only people involved with the Gladiators will know, but it'll be interesting what has actually happened there.
Yeah, I mean, Caledonia are having it rough at the moment. They are really, really, really having it rough. And we'll go through the table at the end of it. But Lions, look, we talked about them in the trophy.
Found their form.
Yeah, they were choked. They choked in the trophy. Hadn't got anything together. They're all over it at the moment, and they're just rolling. They're totally unstoppable. This was at the Copper Box, and the Lions extended their championship to 4-0 based on this one. 98-76 win, and it was dominant. I mean, I could go into loads of the details. I'll just put some stuff down here for like Jaden Delaire, for example. 21 points, 10 rebounds, 4 assists. And the Gladiators, they were trying. Tanner Stuckman, Patrick Whelan, they were really trying to get over, but there was loads of turnovers. And I mean, when I say loads of turnovers, it was a little bit embarrassing watching that. And London, they just surged off the bench. 22-point victory in the end. But I've got to get this name right. And this is, I'm going to put
Jaden Delaire, is that what you're going to say?
No.
It doesn't happen often when you get double doubles or triple doubles.
No,
not in the SLB. So when you see one, you got to give him a shout out, Mark.
Hadzibedgovic. Yeah.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Number
44. Is it number 44?
Centre. Really tall guy. Monster. Early in Q1. Hadzibedgovic.
It's got to be
Bejovic.
Alan. Just call him Alan.
Alan, right. So, post up from Rye.
That is so British. I can't say his name, so I'm just going to call you Alan. Alan Hedge.
But the last couple of games, I've said he is someone that you've got to watch. He is not only is a big, like they have him listed like a forward rather than a centre, but he's like a centre. He's almost like Porzingis was, like for the Celtics stuff. He's got that. He's a really tall guy. I'm not seeing him shooting outside much, although he did. But it's one of these ones where he matched up with Rye, and they've got this thing now at London where Rye did this one, and it's like dish off, bang, in for an easy 2. Then someone picked his, I think it was Adebayo, got a quick steal, passed it off to him again, bang, dunk.
Ryan and this new guy are working. They're working nicely together.
They are.
I think Rye said that earlier. He was saying he feels the team are starting to gel more, even when they were losing in the trophy.
And there was a really nice dunk from Ovi Soko. He picked someone, and it was like a Giannis kind of dunk. I don't know if you saw, like he did it was like one of the, when Giannis does his like 2 big steps. He did it. He took him off, and it was like 1, 2. It was a lovely flush, and it was nice. Like you could tell he was like, I enjoyed that one.
Mark, you got to give a shout out to Jaden Delaire though.
Yeah,
21 points, 10 rebounds, 4 assists, Mark.
I did indeed. But I'm also going to mention Brisker. Between Hadzibedgovic, Rye, and Brisker, That's the power three now at London. There's no question of that. Like, there was a move and Rye came down the baseline, and what I think he's, you know, people say worry about what Cheshire have lost and what they're gaining by having Aaron Rye at London. I think he's given them space, because he went down low and he came down on the left point, drew two people straight in, because they're like that. We're not giving him space. Because he gave him space, he was able to do a bounce pass in the key, and then Brisker just picks up that pass. It wasn't an easy layup, but bang, straight in. And you go, to do a bounce pass in the key in traffic is difficult. It's going to get picked 9 times out of 10, isn't it? But the fact that Rye commands that people crush down on him, they're like, we're not going to give him space because he's going to do something. That's what he's given London. He's actually giving everyone else space to breathe, because they keep collapsing on him. And then there's always a player free. There's always someone that they can just go, here's the ball. And Brisker is one of those guys who's constantly looking for that. He's the kind of person that you or like your brother would like, where, you know, when someone's on an offense and you're like, no one's moving. He's that guy who's like in the back, like, here I come. And he's just making those plays all the time. And in a later game in the week, you see it again. It's just like, these guys, they're all suddenly just connect. It's great to see. But I will say this, Caledonia, they've fallen off a bit of a cliff. It's Thompson had one of his first outings with it. He missed 2 out of 3 free throws in Q1. And, you know, I know you're trying to settle into the team. He's new to the team this season. But if you had the strength to go, I'm going to take this 3-pointer, and he got fouled at that, and then you missed 2 out of 3 free throws, that can't be good for your confidence. I know you're going to get back up if you're a shooter and do it again, but free throws is a big part of this week.
We know your thoughts on free throws, Mark.
No, it's not. It's so much bigger than me. It's so much bigger than me this week. But yeah, so that was the Lions in Caledonia. And I'm going to give another credit here before we move on to the next game. London Lions is one of, if not the best, for the videography. When you're watching on DAZN, and shout out to DAZN, because I think it's so much better than it was on YouTube last year. I think DAZN's really, really good for watching not only the highlights, but the full games. They have like the proper images come up. I think they've done a really good job with that. But the quality of the colour and the image that comes over from London is, I think that's the standard everyone else should hit.
Oh.
Yeah. And the reason I say that is because then when you go to some of the other games, it is not so good.
I know some of the, like, I say Cheshire is probably one that's quite bright. Feels very bright.
Very, very. Do you know one that I was really surprised at this week was Newcastle's one.
Really?
Yeah, it was bad. If you watch the Newcastle game, which we're coming on to next, against Surrey 89ers, it was really like yellowy. It looked like, you know, when someone puts one of those filters on a picture, it just had that like sepia sort of, it didn't look nice at all.
I can't remember
all the camera
name,
angle,
but the new rookie for Surrey looks all right.
Well, yeah, let's get to the game. So Newcastle were playing against Surrey. Newcastle took the win, 81-77. And took North in the Eagle's Nest, as you like to call it.
Eagle's Nest, yeah.
That was a close game. You're
London's the Palace. Just saying, going back to that one.
So Surrey did really well. Like Mervyn James and Josh Steele, they were doing really well, but their turnovers were just in the fourth. They were just all over the place. But the guy that I want to talk about is Cole Long. 23 points, 5 rebounds, right? The amount of points that he kept getting, and they kept giving him the spot to go and shoot the shot. It's like, why are you doing that? They kept giving him this area, and you thought, this is insanity. Like, he keeps shooting from this spot and hitting them. And I think, I could be wrong, but I think he got 23 points. I think he got 5 3-pointers. And at one point, the stat, it said something like 3 out of 10 for 3 points by Q2 or something. And the 3 that were made were him. He'd only taken 3 threes and he hit all of them.
Oh, wow.
And one of them, he came up to the middle, like top of the arc, hit the shot. And not much long, I don't know, a couple of minutes after, he got back in the same position again. The defenders are backing off him, letting him take a shot. And you're like...
Well, what defense were they? Was it man-to-man? What were they playing? Do you remember? Oh, it doesn't matter.
It looked like the defender dropped back and you go, get up on... You've just watched him hit that shot. He hit the shot. A little bit later on, he had another opportunity. He thought, what? Like, don't... He clearly likes that shot. And, you know, everyone...
After the first one, you'd go...
The first one, you go...
to get out there. The second one, it's like, you're not having that again.
So I see this as not a two-problem thing.
Maybe that guy is just really good.
Like, look, you've got a certain place that I know if I got you the ball and you were going to go take... I think, okay, you're quite safe with this here.
Cheers.
Taking a shot. No, what I mean is there's certain places around the court. If I said... All right, Steve's going to get a ball at the top key. Timmy's going to be down on the right-hand side and get a 3.
You're using references.
I know that people don't know.
30 years ago.
Yeah, but what I'm saying, but this is what I'm trying to say is there's places that people can shoot. If your brother had a ball down low here and he did this shimmy thing before he does his turn, you go, I know that's a safer shot than some other ones that was an option, right? If someone hits that shot, you go, he clearly is comfortable taking that shot. Don't give him that shot. Now, this is his second or third attempt at that. So now we're in NBA Jam territory of he's already heated up. Now he's on fire.
No, I get what you're saying.
Don't give him the shot.
Once the first one goes in, you're like, okay, second one goes in.
And then they give him a second. It's like...
He's probably a quick guy and they've been told back off.
They have 5 of them.
Yeah. Like after the second one, it's like, get a hand in his face. But I haven't seen this game, so I can't comment.
So massive shout out to Cole Long because honestly, it's say 81-77. Eagles didn't win that game. Surrey lost that game. That's my note.
But look, Surrey, they didn't start great, but look, they're in and around it. And Newcastle aren't pushovers, especially in the Eagles' nest.
No.
So for that to be a 4-point game, that says something about Surrey.
Yeah, and Hibbert missing 3 throws at the end. I mean, I've got to shout that out because look, it was a 4-point difference in the game, and you go, when you get into this point, you want to be hitting those to extend your lead. You can't be within a 4-point game. It can change just like that. And in your last 40 seconds, you're missing 3 throws. It's like that's not acceptable, and quite badly as well. Not just like that just pinged around. So yeah, that's one of those scores that doesn't necessarily view the game because it was a good game to watch. By the colour.
So off to Bomber Command now, Mark. Yeah.
We are Bomber Command to Sunday.
I hope these names stick.
Bomber Command. I like that.
You can call it the
Aerodome.
This is the Copper Box or the legal, but the fans.
Bomber Command.
Hey, this is the Palace. You're coming in the Palace.
Flight school.
You're coming in Bomber Command.
Bomber Command, not Top Gun.
If they look, I mean, at Bristol. Called the Flyers. If they haven't got
they were called.
Do you know the World War II sirens?
Yes.
When all the light, I'm assuming all the lights go out and with lights.
So
that's what I'd be doing lights in the sky like that with the sirens coming off.
Oh yeah, I mean look, Filton.
That's off the top of my head.
Filton is one of the heads of aerospace in the UK. Like you've got Airbus down there, GK and all those sort of guys.
But I'm saying it's. Like you called the Bristol Flyers, it's set up. The entertainment is set up for you.
Well, they used to be.
Lights.
They used to be Filton. Used to be Filton Flyers before it was Bristol Flyers.
And actually, you've got loads of Top Gun stuff you could use.
Yeah.
Loads of stuff.
Oh, I think they'd lean into it. You know, you could do all sorts like the
Bristol is quite high up on my list to go first with.
Yeah, and you know they got some great things going on.
Dan Buster's song, Dan. If they win, Dan.
So look, the Flyers played Manchester, and this was one of my favourite games of the week.
Yeah.
So I would say Sunday had the best 2 games of the week personally. Bristol versus Manchester.
There's another double in here, Mark.
At SGS College Arena.
Doesn't happen often.
Manchester absolutely flew out the game. I actually had this one on, and I thought, like when you're doing household stuff, and you got the game on as well, doing the ironing, classy.
You're
And
doing stuff whilst these games are being played.
yeah, you know, like you ironing while you're watching the telly, you know, doing stuff
You
like that.
iron? What are you ironing?
T-shirts. You got to have them nice and crisp.
You iron your t-shirts?
Yeah.
For what?
To make them look nice and crisp.
For
Rather than
what?
look at...
Put them on. They iron themselves out as you walk out the door after 30 seconds.
Really? Are you serious?
If you screw them up,
You've got to iron your t-shirt. You've got to make them look nice and crisp.
If you what? You just put your t-shirt on.
Tell me you don't iron your socks as well.
Are you winding me up? Do I need to take my jumper off? Do you want to? I do not iron this t-shirt. Hang on. You carry on talking. I'll be back.
Look at that. There you go. Ironed. Nice. And I got Mavericks on there as well. Dude, you got to iron. See, yeah, see, that needs an iron. That needs an iron. Needs a little go over.
What are you talking about?
See the top where your neck is? Yeah, like that side, on that side.
What are you talking
That
about?
side there. Yeah, that one. There's wrinkles. I'd iron that out. I'd literally, it takes like 2 seconds. You put it over the iron thing, you go, done, over the other side, crisp, lovely. Mate,
Command.
You're missing out. Right.
Bomber Command.
So, watching this, I generally thought, this is all over. Like Q1, I thought, that's it, game. Because Manchester just completely controlled the game. And it was actually at that point where I was thinking, Manchester are a real force this year. The ease at which they were throwing that ball around. And Bristol they weren't even answering. It was like they just weren't in the game. And then it changed. Got was it Q2, Q3? And Evan Walsh sort of like picked up. And he started I think it was 22 points, 7 rebounds off the bench. But he was one of the factors. And once I can't put my finger on it, but just suddenly I went, oh, hang on a minute, there's a game here. And they were suddenly within 10 points. Then it was a 5-point game. You thought, oh. And they just carried on going. Manchester absolutely dominated. Like KO, Madout, like they ran rings around them. And Bristol kept chipping away. The best, the ballsiest, snowflake warning, but the best and ballsiest
Snowflake warning.
overtime clutch play I've seen. An alley-oop for a dunk.
Nice.
Like literally you got 7 seconds on the ball and they're like, yeah, for an alley-oop. Comes in, 2-hand slam. Oh, okay. But they were running down the shot clock and you thought that was absolutely, that was Isaiah Moore. Absolutely unbelievable that was.
I got a sound for Bristol Flyers.
That pushed it to overtime. But unfortunately.
That's a good one, isn't it?
What's a good one? I can't hear anything.
Hang on. What I'm going to do is...
What are you playing now?
Turn that off.
Right.
Check this out. This is for Bristol.
Nice.
That's the kind of stuff I'd be using. Like all the lights out.
It kind of reminds me of like a slightly eerier version of The Undertaker coming in. Where they did the old gong. And then that was it. The lights all went out. So yeah, that went into overtime. Bristol capitalised on that. Absolutely sealed that victory. That should have been Manchester's game. By the half, you thought, I'm not saying you turn it off, but you think, I know where this game's going. And Bristol completely changed it. So massive credit to them. Got back into it, got to overtime and then won it. So yeah, really, really good game go. And I will say I was talking about the video quality. SGS College Arena there looked really good. And the cameras, it was all, it's the minimum standard we should expect. So I don't know what was happening in Newcastle, but it looked terrible. The actual stream, it looked really bad. And that just highlighted it further. But yeah, Manchester, I think they could cause some real upsets this year. Their team looked really, really handy. And without Evan Walsh, I don't think Bristol would have come together.
Just struggling to get off the mark, really. Same thing with Caledonia. Just struggling to get off the mark. But yeah, let's see what happens.
I think it's deeper with Caledonia. But
That's-
speaking of Caledonia, we're going straight to them.
we're going to the Highlands, Mark.
We are going to the Highlands.
I haven't got one for them yet. The Highlands. The problem is, I like to call them the Highlands. You come into the Highlands.
It's got to be some
but
bagpipe.
it's too generic.
It's got to be something bagpipe.
But let's say Falkirk Fury or
No.
someone like that comes in the league.
Is it?
Then you can't say the Highlands anymore because it's more. It references. You know what I mean?
What's the name of the? That's Ireland, isn't it? Where they have that drum, where they go that. You know the.
You're still thinking the entertainment. Yeah, I'd be having bagpipes for them.
It'd just be irritating as hell, wouldn't it?
Or I don't know what you'd play, but yeah, I don't know what to call their home court. The only one I can think of is the Highlands.
The kiln.
What?
The kiln.
You come into the
Kiln.
what's that?
It's like an oven where you cook stuff.
But they only use it in Scotland.
No. What was where's the old man in Lochnagar? He lived in a thing, didn't he? What was it called? It's something. There'll be something like that. It's the book that Prince Charles wrote, or King Charles.